Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct project. Protecting Africa economy by keeping and maintaining Africa business and a traditional practice and Africa way of doing things. Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct project build village economy and restore tradition marketplace and a tradition Enkosi village areas harmonious peaceful environment for business and a tradition activities and for tradition village communities across the globe to learn and to talk on Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct business talk documentary chapters platforms in 1A up to initiatives 30. Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct projects registration number 2020 800 54607 is a village reconstruct business and an ancestor family tradition learning programs initiated by Manong Mahuka Alpheus. I am the director at Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct projects. I am going to present to you a Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct business talk documentary chapters initiatives 25 on presenting Village Reconstruct Project Service Program to introduce business for all, a business talk documentary, and on the initiative Africa Village Economy Building Initiative projects. This is a Village Reconstruct Business Service program to restore and reconstruct business and tradition activities, practices, learning, and to identify tradition village communities as a target market, and the business to provide the business and employment solutions to a society that is torn apart by traditions and beliefs, and introduce ancestor family traditions learn program on idiom expression motivation such as Rutang, Bana, Ditaola, letsona, Badimong. This is for children to learn on scientific and indigenous knowledge to buy to implement Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct project implementation business and business village model and strategy, even before elders and the last person to work the surrounding land and chimu plow fields departs through death to Badimong. Badimong is an ancestor tradition village in heaven as per research invention on the name Motse wa Rakgolo and on the business Village Reconstruct. This is the business to instill a teamwork spirit, to establish rotate shift village economy building initiative projects, rotate shift work the land projects, rotate shift business for all, business establishment businesses, and rotate shifts ancestor family traditions learn programs. Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct project introduces Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct project business to establish rotate shift work the land projects and rotate shift village economy building initiatives projects and rotate shift business for all, business establishment businesses, and rotate shifts to learn on ancestor family traditions to keep and to maintain. The author of this documentary is Manong Mahuka Alpheus. I am going to implement you pages 1 up to page 13 on Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct project. It's a village reconstruct business to reconstruct business and tradition, using rotate indigenous languages with English language, translating Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct business talk documentary chapters, discussions, business for all, and a less talk village reconstruct business and a tradition through Village Reconstruct Business Talk documentary chapter on community service and on Motse wa Rakgolo Village Home Affairs Service on the subject Rutang, Bana, Ditaola, letsona Badimong. Educating children on ancestor family traditions learning programs. By initiating projects, programs, and tradition activities programs, Village Reconstruct Project business posts, village business establishments, village work rounding land and mashimo plow fields, and village reconstruct farming projects, village business sites and village business area constructions, village business and connect center projects, rotate indigenous languages business learning, and rotate indigenous languages business talking programs on Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct projects. Business and Tradition Monitor Moshate Center, Khoro ya Moshate, and on Ancestor Family Literacy Learning programs, on Idiom Expression Motivations programs, and finally, to initiate and sell the business village model and strategy. As a business solution where business and tradition often intermingled and conflict, and turn ancestor tradition village into a modern constituent business village for all clients to buy to implement Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct Project business. The aim is to stabilize the business environment within Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct projects, business operating areas, and within Motse wa Rakgolo Tradition Enkosi Village and Motse wa Badimong Ancestor Tradition Village to build the Tradition Village client supports while keeping and maintaining ancestor family roots and traditions. And this includes tradition village communities in townships and cities as well, through Village Reconstruct Business Talk documentary chapters and invention research on village local farming projects, village local business and construction projects, village business Moshate Connect Center projects, rotate indigenous languages business learning and business talking programs, business and tradition monitor, Khoro ya Moshate Connect Centers, and on ancestor family traditions activities programs on idiom expression motivations such as Rutang, Bana, Ditaola, letsona Badimong. Obani Badimong ke motse o motle Motse wa Rakgolo. Our one ancestor family grandfather tradition village, Motse wa Badimong, Motse wa Rakgolo, Motse wa Bagologolo Thokgola heritage site. This is our origin, our pride, our economy, and business for all. To turn ancestor tradition village into a modern constituent business village, but most importantly, to restore tradition marketplace business spirit and a tradition Enkosi village areas peaceful and harmonious environment to prevail and build village economy. And through Village Reconstruct business trade and Village Reconstruct commodity business, Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct projects therefore establishes the business to trade in the business that has been neglected for a very long time, and commercialize village business and tradition activities programs by giving value and pricing to tradition village business and invent a new concept job design business village model and strategy to include ancestor families and Christian families in townships, in the cities as well, and to invent and invest in Motse wa Rakgolo name and in village reconstruct business, and provide business solutions where business methods and tradition activities of practice often intermingled and conflict by establishing the business to work the land, to sell Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct project business, to rent Motse wa Rakgolo name, and to rent Motse wa Rakgolo business village model and strategy, meaning to trade in village reconstruct business and to trade in commercializing tradition village business. Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct project, we are saying, come and buy Motse wa Rakgolo business village model and strategy to reconstruct business and a tradition. and implement Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct implementation business by inventing the name Motse wa Rakgolo and the business Village Reconstruct. By initiating and establishing village economy building initiatives, projects, programs, tradition activities, and points of views that represent the spirit to build village economy and the nation. So, Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct project is business to sell, village reconstruct business. And for all clients, we are saying, come and buy and implement the business established as the result research findings and investment for tradition village communities to research an invention and invest in the name Motse wa Rakgolo and research and invention on initiative Ancestor family educate on tradition activities practices learning, and by declaring both business and tradition as business to sell and business to buy, and connect their village business with the rest of the business world markets, and turn Ancestor tradition village into a modern constituent business village. The business that employs 130 employees from both Ancestor families clients and Christian families clients, customers, and business partners who normally practice different business methods, which often intermingle and conflict, and provide business solutions. By establishing initiative rotate shift business for all business establishments and rotate shift work the land projects and programs. Motse wa Rakgolo Village Reconstruct projects initiated Motse wa Rakgolo rotate indigenous languages, business learning and business talking programs, business tradition monitor Moshati Connect Center projects and programs, Ancestor family tradition land programs, Rutang, Bana, Ditaola, letsona, Badimong, and put more emphasis onto the words Badimong, Motse wa Rakgolo, Thokgola heritage site, our pride, our economy, and business for all. And the business to differentiate between Motse wa Rakgolo and Motse wa Makgolo. And also to differentiate between Ancestor families, Pasa, rituals, tradition, practices, and to differentiate with Christian families' beliefs to pray God Almighty. And that both groups must take prayer, tabelo, to God the creator of heaven and earth, and stabilize the business environment within tradition in Nkosi village areas. And for God Almighty to lead all of us in our processes to build our village economies, in our processes to initiate projects, programs, and business economies, and economy and tradition activities or practices that specialize in reconstructing the business mind and build our village economy to create new jobs and new businesses and reduce unemployment within tradition village communities across the globe. Thank you very much for now.